G'day everyone, it's Justin and
Matt.
two dads again from Broome, Australia. Coming to you today from a 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Now mate, this is another car I've been dying to have a drive of this year, and we've been lucky enough to get our hands on the new Civic Type R. Mate, just a couple of weeks ago we even had the opportunity to drive the probably the arch nemesis of it, the Subaru WRX STI.
Yeah.
Now, give us your impressions. You've been having a quick drive of this thing. What do you reckon?
Well, I remember I went and picked it up with you, and the first glimpse of the car, because I hadn't seen one on the road.
Yeah.
The first glimpse, I thought, wow, that's loud. The exterior is in your face.
Yeah.
Saw the white one, and then we were given this one here, which is an interesting colour. I actually quite like it. Wow, that rear wing and the flared arches and the three tailpipes. Like, wow, this thing's really in your face.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that the driving experience would match it, and so far, tick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, one big difference I noticed between the two cars is just like, whereas the STI I think was just something that you had to get on all the time to get the most out of it. It was just in your face all the time. This thing here, it's Jekyll and Hyde. It's got a 3-mode sort of a drive mode thing here. Like, you've got comfort mode, you've got sport, you've got plus R. When you drive it in comfort mode around town, I was just so impressed with the way that it just drives like a normal Civic without any fuss. It's just a nice thing to drive around. But you whack it into sport mode, or you put it in plus R if you're game enough for it.
Yeah.
It's an animal, an absolute animal. This is just the typical sort of 2018 hot hatch today, isn't it? It's just something that you can drive normally, but then hit a button and off you go. It's just brilliant.
Exactly right. It does many things well.
Yeah, definitely. Now, mate, we're going through a few lovely corners around here. Give us your impressions. How does it handle?
I'm just starting to, I guess, get into it, as you say, and into the zone. You just feel connected to this car. It's in sport mode at the moment, so not the most aggressive setting, but firstly, the driving position, the seating position is really good.
You sit quite low, don't you? Which is I like that.
You do.
Yep.
The seats are fantastic. They are spot on. They're comfortable, supportive.
Yep.
Really good seats. The driving position is fantastic. Visibility going forward is fantastic. Not so much, out the back. You've got that big wing, and the C pillar is large.
Yep.
But everything else is great. The steering's fantastic.
Mate, the turn-in this thing has, it's just brilliant, isn't it? It's telepathic. You just turn in and it just goes, it grips. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it really is. For a front-wheel drive car, this thing is brilliant, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And, I had a Honda S2000, so at the time that thing was a bit of a screamer, 9,000 RPM. But, it was a 2-litre normally aspirated with VTEC, so you had to just absolutely punish it to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
This, being that it's 2-litre, but it's VTEC and it's turbocharged.
Yeah.
So you've got that mid-range torque.
Yes.
So the drivability is just so much more superior.
Yep.
Which just makes it even more enjoyable to drive, and it's got a bigger range to exploit the potential of the car.
Well, mate, it puts out 228 kilowatts at 6,500 RPM and 400 Newton meters between 2,500 and 4,500 RPM. So you're absolutely right about that mid-range torque.
Yeah.
But it does feel like a VTEC of old too, doesn't it? Like when you get it over 4,000 RPM, you just get this shove in the back, and it just goes. It's really, really nice with that. So
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that old VTEC engine as well. You can't. If I got in here and didn't know what engine it had and what was bolted onto it, I wouldn't have even picked it was turbo.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked the turbocharged because it does have that linear, progressive sort of power delivery.
Yep.
Which is great.
Now, mate, with the handling of this car, I mean, it's running 20-inch wheels, 245, 30, ZR20, Conti Sport Contact 6s.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, the way that they've done the suspension, especially in comfort mode, it is just such a nice, smooth car to drive. It just takes the bumps really easily.
It does.
But also coupled with the going around the corners, isn't it? It's just such a nice car going around corners.
Exactly. And the steering off centre, the steering is sensational.
Yeah.
It really is. It's sensational. You get so much feel for electric steering, but I don't know. They've just look at that. Just turn-in is phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, I think
really
coupled with it's got a mechanical LSD at the front as well. And I think that's able to channel the power pretty well to the ground pretty easily. So that's good.
And I mean, another thing of note is the gearbox.
Okay.
So 6-speed manual.
Yep.
Manual gearbox.
Manual only. Yeah.
Manual only. Which you'd think, oh gosh, city driving and all that, multi-purpose vehicle. If that's what you're really looking for, painful. But it's not. The clutch is light enough.
You're right.
But the engagement point is great.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of my S2000 as well, in that you can mostly use your wrist to shift the gear.
Yep.
And it's got that gear knob, which is synonymous with Type R's.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is an easy car to drive when you're not, when you're not on it. It's just a light clutch, nice gearbox. It surprised me actually. I thought this was going to be like the STI, a bit harder to drive around town and everything, but no, it's an easy car to drive around town.
It is.
Yeah.
And to that point, while we're on the gearbox and manual gears, when we first picked it up, the rev matching was switched on.
Yes, that's right.
Which, it's a nice feature to have. It's a bit artificial for old school manual drivers, but the good thing is, thank you Honda, you have given the ability to switch it off.
Yeah. Which we have now, so it's actually, you can control it, you can do your heel towing and all that kind of stuff and not have to worry about it. So
great move there.
Yeah. Now, mate, I probably have to look at this from a family-friendly point of view as well, I suppose.
Okay, yeah.
Mate, I think it's really good. It's actually got plenty of room in the back. It's comfortable. The boot is huge as well. I mean, it's based on the normal Civic hatchback, which we rated pretty highly when we drove the RS, didn't we? So
we did. Yeah.
I think as a daily, it's got a lot going for it, doesn't it?
It does.
You could do the school run pretty easily, but then take it, on a great twisty road drive or even a track day on a weekend, and it's got everything going for it, doesn't it?
It does. I have to say, every box is just absolutely ticked. It really is a conclusive tick on all fronts.
Yeah, and the price of this car, $50,990 is the list price, $51,000 in Australia. What you see is what you get as well. Mm-hmm. But mate, that's great value for money for what it is, isn't it?
It really is. I was surprised. It's feature rich as well.
Being the top of the range Civic, it's still got all the, the top of the range safety features as well. It's got, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, DAB, HDMI ports. It's got, 2 USB ports for the kids. But it's also got that dash, the digital dash display there. A couple of extra things for a sporty car: lap timer, G-force display, shift light, turbo boost. So it's got all that stuff too. But mate, it's got a lot going for it. It really does.
Yeah,
so,
it does.
Yeah, 5-year unlimited K warranty as well from Honda.
That's good. They've stepped that up as well.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good. So.
I have a question. Mm-hmm. What do you reckon about the looks? How does it sit with you?
Okay, I've got to say that me as a middle-aged man driving this car, it makes me feel like, people are thinking I'm having a midlife crisis. It does. Unfortunately, that's probably the only negative thing I can say about it, is that, it drives brilliantly, but I think the demographic they've aimed this car at is not really me. What do you think?
I agree. I agree. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
From every angle.
Yeah.
It's not just one particular angle. Every single angle. It's wild and like, it gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, but it's getting attention from like teenage kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They just love the look of this thing, and it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
But personally, I'd probably say for me, it's the looks a bit too wild. I mean, ideally, what I'd love to see, and this is just me, Honda, can you do one of these, you know, a little less wild, perhaps, you know, detune the body kit a bit, keep the mechanicals, even maybe put a dual clutch transmission in the thing, so you know, makes it easy around town, even easier around town, I should say. That would have really appealed to me. I think I'd buy one. Stick my hand up, definitely.
I would too.
Yeah. Anyway, X Factor question, mate. I think. Well, I guess that kind of addresses the X Factor question, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
In droves, it draws your eye to it. There are so many details as well, just intricate details, which, you know, love it or hate it, they're there, and it's interesting to see them, interesting to analyse them. The front grille are actually a working functional item.
Yeah,
they are.
I think everything is functional on it, but bit over the top. But yeah, you definitely look back at it. Other people will be looking back at it too. So,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So I'll probably say in summary, mate, how would you sum up the Type R, the driving experience, everything?
Mate, I reckon it's true to the label, the Type R ethos. It's spot on. It's really a pleasure to drive, and you feel so connected to this car. Yeah. And you know, when I was thinking, okay, we're going to test drive this car today, I was actually looking forward to it. On the right road, obviously, the STI is in a sweet spot. Not on the right road, the STI not so good. Yeah. This just does it all. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to stick my hand up and say maybe the best car we've driven this year. I don't know. I'd say yes. Yeah. It could be in the running for that title this year.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, just want to put a big thank you to our friends at Honda Australia for the loan of the Type R. Don't know if you're going to get it back. And just a big thank you to everybody out there for watching. It's been an exciting year for all of us here at BRRRRM, and we've enjoyed driving the cars and bringing you some videos. So we'll see you next time.
See you later.